So, first question, what was your first reaction when you heard that you had been inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I was excited. It's one of those things that I kind of knew that there was a potential I'd get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
It was something that I'd kind of hoped for a long time, if I'm being honest. And then it was, honestly, I went to a time, like I was telling my wife, of just kind of reflecting.
Honored, really excited, kind of surprised, but overall just honored to join the ranks of really great athletes.
I know there's a lot of really great people and amazing athletes who have been included in the George Fox Hall of Fame, so it was a deep honor for me.
I just remember being filled with a sense of pride for being a small part of such an awesome team with so many talented athletes, gratitude that the committee felt my accomplishment was worth recognizing, and thankfulness that I was able to be part of such an important time in George Fox track and field history.
Rich Allen actually called me and he said, well, I nominated you for that for doing the top 10 records and all, putting all that time in.
I thought Coach Smith was joking. I was looking around to see if Ashton Kutcher was around to see if I was being punked. But I was honored immediately, and I don't know that I'll ever feel worthy.
Well, I came to George Fox because of baseball. I'd never heard of the school before I showed up for my visit. And so, to me, baseball is some of my greatest memories.
I graduated high school out of Salem Academy. So a lot of my classmates were coming to George Fox. And I started looking at college. I go, well, a bunch of my friends are over there, so I'll just go there. I mean, I didn't go and look at schools. I didn't go and do all of that.
My senior year, I was actually not planning to do track. I was a senior in the nursing program. I had just gotten married, and I was like, I don't have time for this.
When I was a sophomore, I found out that the top 23 athletes for any event make it to nationals, and I ranked 24th that year. And I remember standing on the porch during May term watching everybody else drive away in the van.
So I remember the date, December 22nd, 2004, one of my good friends died. Got killed in a car accident, and we were getting ready to go on a road trip, I know shortly after Christmas. That was a hard period for me, but I think for me personally, that season, I kind of dedicated my buddy to Pat.
It's called a hook of a hamate break, common with people that swing things. So it's just a bone in your wrist that the hook of it breaks off. Where we were in the season, that cost me the rest of the year.
My junior year was the year I finally decided to go all in with track, got eating right, started sleeping 8 hours a night, really focused on getting everything dialed in, and I went from running a 27-200 to running a 25. And it was like, how far can I go with this and everything? And so when that whole injury happened, I was like, well, I don't want to cut back on any of the stuff that I've progressed so far in, because I feel like I still could go a lot farther. And so when I found out there was a bone chip and then it didn't reabsorb, then the next step was surgery. They ended up doing the surgery. It went phenomenal. I was able to be jogging within a couple weeks of them doing this surgery. I do think I could have gone faster had I not had that hiccup, but the fact that I was able to take that base and still grow on it, I actually did still get a PR that year.
Walking on the quad, and Doug Beatty, my jumps coach, literally, I feel like he chased me down. I think he did chase me down. And he said, come on, what will it take to get you to do track? He said, but when can you practice? I'm like, okay, Tuesday, Thursdays at 7 p.m. And he's like, all right, got it. I'll be there. And so he helped me be able to do track. And I'm so glad I did, because that ended up being my best year. I'm really proud that I jumped 19 feet. That was awesome. And I mean, people since then have jumped 19 feet, but it felt really special in the moment, being the first one. I'm really proud of being able to juggle all the things that I did senior year and do well, because I graduated top of my nursing class as well.
Basketball was always a place that when you step on the court, you don't think about anything else, right? You don't have to worry about finals, you don't have to worry about the tests coming up. My happy place, my place that you could get away from the world, relationships, family, any issues going on, you step on the court. And so I think it gave me an avenue to kind of grieve that and to just kind of separate and just kind of direct that passion and those feelings in a different direction. I think that happening my senior year just kind of propelled that, I guess. And then it translated to wins. Go from last in the conference to finishing, and I think we were second my senior year. That was huge. I took a lot of pride in that.
I spent a year, visualizing and sitting in the dugout and missing being on the field. And so when I came back, I was able to, you know, have an even bigger appreciation for just playing and enjoying the game. I tried to simplify things that year, and it kind of just all came together. Throughout the year, I'm not sitting there thinking like, oh, I might be an All-American, I might be this or that. Like, you're just playing and trying to win. But then as the year gets done, to be the All-American and All-Region and Conference Player of the Year, I was very, very happy with it.
My wife calls it an illness, but I always do stats. Each track meet had its own individual file, and then in each file had sheets. And so if I remember correctly, some of them, you know, they put them together and ran them on the old mimeograph. I spent the time to go back through on each of those and then make the lists and all that. And it was all done before computers. So it took a little while. I did have the privilege to be at the meet coaching some other kids when your guy knocked me down one spot in the hammer. But I was there, and he knew where my mark was and stuff like that. He got it on his last throw, and so able to congratulate and do all that stuff. But see those kids hit that was a big deal for him to move up one more spot.
Being in the team environment, being physically active, the leadership, just a lot of the things you do translate really well to the fire service. I'm in that team environment for that period of time.
My time on the George Fox University track team was a special time and contributed a great deal to the person I am today. I learned many lessons about hard work, perseverance, dedication, leadership, and pride in being a member of a team. These experiences helped make me a better husband and father. They were also instrumental in helping me have a successful and rewarding career as a firefighter and officer with Portland Fire Bureau.
Scott Brown was my high school coach at Redmond High. He was an awesome guy. I feel like he really created that fire in me of loving track.
I liken her to a super ball. You know, those little bouncy balls that you drop it and it actually bounces higher than where you dropped it from.
He should get all the credit for bringing me to Fox. He took a group of us to George Fox for kind of a little weekend.
There's all kinds of things to draw kids to George Fox, to say, oh, it's a beautiful fitness center, and they've got a really cool gymnasium, and they've got a gorgeous track, and they've got. But if they don't got God, then there's absolutely no reason for me to send kids back to George Fox. And I've constantly tried to encourage my students to give George Fox an opportunity to help their roots. I've had numerous students that have attended there. I've got a student right now is attending George Fox. He's a sophomore. And so I would hope that my legacy is someone that turned people towards God through sacrifice, through time, the love of the sport and the love of the athletes I coached and the teammates I competed with. So that's what I hope my legacy would be.
So if you could describe all of that in one word, what would it be?
I just keep coming back to family.
The beautiful thing about college baseball is it is like a family.
Oh yeah, we had loads of fun.
Oh, I felt like we were family.
That's where I met my wife. She was a part of the women's track team, and we still share a love for the sport after all these years.
The good people, it sounds like there's still great people here, so that's what it's about at the end of the day, is relationships and people. So.